All right, I got something for you. The five cartoons you watched as a kid that you most wish you could go back and watch again for the first time. Like,
is that going to be the whole segment?
Yes, yeah. The five cartoons that you watched as a kid that you most wish you can go back and watch again for the first time. So that's different than your 5 favorites.
So these are cartoons that I wish I could go back and watch for the first time?
For the first time. You want to re-experience them with fresh eyes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going first?
Yeah.
Alright. Oh,
that's how this works. Whoever asks goes last.
Okay. I like that quote. Can we make that? Can that be the whoever's last? Whoever asks... Wait, what did you say?
Whoever asks goes last.
Whoever asks goes last.
You know where I got that from, right? O.J. Simpson trial.
Really?
No, not really.
Dear Lord. Alright, so... Number 1 would be... For the first time. Tom and Jerry.
That's a neat choice, even though I was always a Warner Brothers guy, not a Tom and Jerry
Oh,
guy.
yeah, I mean... But Tom and Jerry... Have you ever watched an old Tom and Jerry in a long time? They're pretty. Some of them are pretty intense, but
intense.
Bite your tongue.
What?
There is a Tom and Jerry episode I just recently watched. I remember it as a kid, but as a kid, I didn't realize what was going on. But there's one where Tom goes to hell.
Oh, I remember that one.
And he's at the... Well, first he goes to the gates of heaven.
Because isn't he being punished for torturing Jerry?
Yeah, and he has to sign this, he has to get Jerry to sign, I guess, like a pardon.
But you know how ridiculous that is? Because Jerry was an asshole.
Oh, yeah, they were both jerks to each other. Yeah, it wasn't like Jerry was good, in a sense, and
Tom was just this mean cat who was tormenting him. No, Jerry was really kind of... Jerry was he was a D word.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
But there's this episode where he's at the gates of heaven, and as he's standing there talking to the gatekeeper guy, cat, these kittens go by in a sack. There's 4, 5, 6 kittens in a sack, and they're hopping their way in. And
jeez!
And the guy and the gatekeeper says,
that's dark.
Goes, and he tisks them and says something to the equivalent of what boys won't do, or some basically.
Wow.
And I didn't even, as a kid, I don't understand, because I never thought in a million years that people would do this, because I'm not a psycho. People would put kittens in a sack and throw them into the lake or whatever and kill them. So these kittens were going to heaven because they were just killed. That was in the Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, interesting choice.
Well, I gotta say Bugs Bunny, because that's my favorite cartoon. They're my favorite. Daffy's my favorite.
Yeah,
character.
Those WB cartoons,
especially the old ones.
Legend.
Oh God.
Total legend.
Can it be... Okay. It has to be running cartoons?
It could be what you think
it could be whatever I want it to be. Is that even a song?
What was that?
I don't know. Ren and Stimpy.
That's a neat choice. All right. That's fine.
I wish I could go back and watch it again for the first time. Because I remember seeing it... Remember the close-ups?
Oh, yeah, and gruesome detail of the bulging eyeballs and the veins
and rubber nipples and that's I watched them again on YouTube recently, and it didn't have the same shock value and grittiness that it did when I was a kid, in the sense I was a teenager, but still that weirdness of it all. Okay, that's 3?
That's 3.
Maybe
we can skip number 4.
Yeah, last time. What happened? Dead air. Number 4. What was that cartoon? Because I can't remember the name of it. What was the cartoon with the rhino that shot things out of it and the ghost? It was part of Space Ghost.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, the Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Yeah, but what was that specific?
That was the family name.
It was like the Beast guy, like the guy that was like a barbarian.
I'm upset. Oh yeah, was it
the Hanna-Barbarians?
Thundarr the Barbarian.
Okay.
There were the blobs.
There was the blob that like sounded like Cousin It from the Addams Family,
yeah.
and then the rhino that shot things out of its horn.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, totally want to see that again.
Number five as a kid. Okay, I'm just gonna say it because it to me it's just one giant thing, but it kind of puts everything together.
Okay.
The USA Cartoon Express. And I know that's a conglomerate. Do you remember that?
It rings a bell.
Oh my god!
Jog my memory.
It was every okay. It doesn't count as a cartoon, but we're making the rules up, so who gives a crap? USA Cartoon Express was a show that came on USA Network. Do you remember USA Network?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was on at like 7:30. It was on when cartoons were done. Like, so you couldn't watch cartoons after a certain point. Remember, like Saturday and Sunday, 12 o'clock would roll around, whatever. It was done. You couldn't watch cartoons. Right. But USA Cartoon Express had cartoons like after dinner time on weeknights.
Because they were like, forget about it, kids.
Yeah, we're breaking the rules.
These other channels are trying to make you, they're trying to... They're the man. They're trying to make you have dinner and do homework and stuff like that. And they were like, forget it. Yeah, we're sticking it to the man. USA
Cartoon Express was... a cartoon like hour. I guess it was about an hour. It felt like an hour. It could have been a half hour. I think it was an hour. But it was all the Hannah. It was like, it was kind of all the leftover cartoons that like what was the talking sand buggy?
Oh yeah.
And it was Grape Ape.
Grape Ape was cool.
And it was all those like
the Dune Buggy. God, what was that? Oh man, that's gonna bug me.
And it was all those cartoons that you didn't really ever see on like regular Saturday morning cartoons, because I guess those were on back before we were kids. So and then they just became obsolete.
Right.
And it was like Smurfs and
yeah.
So these were like those toss away cartoons, I guess you'd call it. Like the old. That's all Hanna-Barbera, right? Basically.
Yeah. I think. Well, not some of them. But some of them. I think some of the ones that you mentioned. Yeah.
But it was those cartoons, and I remember like just being able to watch cartoons after dinner time on a weeknight.
It felt wrong, didn't it?
It felt wrong. So rebellious.
So, not to get us off on a tangent before I do my list, but when talking about the sand buggy or whatever, it brings to mind, all right, there's this comic artist. There was this guy, John Byrne. I don't know if you know. But he did like some cool comics way back in the day. The X-Men when it used to be cool, and Fantastic Four and stuff like that. Anyway, he doesn't like the Pixar movie Cars. And the reason why he doesn't like the Pixar movie Cars is because it upsets him that the cars have door handles. Because he's like, in a world without humans, why do the cars need door handles?
Well, it's true.
So
this sounds like he actually said that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, so my list.
Yep.
I'm going backwards because that's how lists are supposed to go. So number 5.
Touché.
Number 5. 'Cause you're supposed to count down to the best one.
This is the first time we've done that.
Maybe. Who knows? Number 5 is the original Smurfs. Anyway, it was like
Was the art different?
Much different.
Well, I mean, I grew up. I mean, Smurfs is
that was kid stuff.
Yeah, like that was great. No, I loved it.
So did I.
But I don't remember. I don't think I remember the original ones.
I remember very briefly the original ones coming on at some point. I don't remember why they were on, and I was so used to the Americanized version that the animation was like it looked all. This is in my memory, mind you. It looked like rich and vivid and painted.
Oh, it was like done better almost. It wasn't that cheap.
Highly detailed. So I want to re-experience that. So that's my number 5. 4 is who you already mentioned, Thundarr the Barbarian, and that whole Hanna-Barbera weird outer space crew with Space Ghost and Gleep Gleep, I think, were the blobs.
Is that what it was? There was a mom and a baby?
Yeah, something like that.
Right? Like they were somehow related.
Yeah, and there was like the dinosaurs and all that weird shit.
It was really weird.
Number 3, and it's not a whole cartoon, because I don't need to see the whole cartoon again, because it wasn't a very good cartoon. But it was one of my everyday after school. Because you remember, there was the cartoons that there were Saturday morning cartoons, then there were the cartoons that you watch when you came home from school every day.
Yes, which were totally different.
Totally different. Like, for instance, I was almost going to include on my list from Saturday morning the Littles. Do you remember the Littles? We are the Littles. They were like little tiny elf people with tails.
Oh, yes.
They lived in the walls.
Yep, I do remember that.
They were kind of like the Elf on the Shelf, except not creepy. But yeah, that was one of my Saturday morning cartoons. But anyway, the number 3 that I intend to name is not a whole series. It's just one specific episode, and it is the episode of Thundercats when you get to see the Snarf planet. Because do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember the episode, but it sounds amazing.
There was one episode,
the Snarf episode,
where there's like this hover car, sort of like the speeder, Luke Speeder from Star Wars. It's like this hover car, and it's rolling along this road on a planet, and it's filled with Snarfs, and they're
were they all the same?
They're all just different
colored versions of them.
No, they're all the same colors, but just all like Snarf people. Are they people? And they're all just going Snarf, 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 Snarf. Like they're having a Snarf conversation.
That's more like a nightmare. And then
it was the best day. And then the mutants came and blasted it. And then like what the
Snarf cried.
And then it was like the whole episode was based around Snarf. So I want to like wipe my memory and go back to childhood.
I understand.
And relive.
It was that changing.
It was a life changing experience. Number 2, the G.I. Joe cartoons.
I should have said.
I loved the G.I. Joe cartoons.
Yeah.
And especially those first. Remember, before it turned into a full series, it was a couple miniseries. Mm-hmm. And oh man, I remember that first miniseries, like every day glued because they were ending on cliffhangers. It was just a big story.
They were like soap operas for kids, and it's like compared to like Bugs Bunny or Smurfs. These were like
it was epic.
Yeah, they were done well. Their storylines were pretty, Yeah, it was soap operas for us.
Oh yeah, and I remember like, talking about it with friends all the time. Like, I can't believe what happened this last episode. The I guess it was
Cobra Kai.
Cobra came in with the big hovering. It was sort of like the helicarrier for the Avengers. Yeah. It was Cobra's version and being like, oh, damn. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I want to relive that. I want to get back in that. I hate to do this again because I keep doing this to you, but downstairs, these are in the house. Downstairs, there we go. Boxes full of G.I. Joe shit.
Boxes full of G.I. Joe shit.
Actually, some of the G.I. Joe stuff might be right up here. Oh yeah, look, see, aircraft carrier right there.
What did it? Can you put it on the table?
Maybe different segment. Anyway, I don't think that's not the main G.I. Joe. Oh, that is a G.I. Joe telecat. Yeah.
Oh, for.
You look upset with me now. You look upset.
We'll save it. We'll save it for another segment.
So the last one, and I won't say what it is. My number 1. I won't say what it is yet.
But it's hanging on a cliffhanger like G.I. Joe.
As a kid, I used to watch this one before school, before going to school. I don't know why that was the case, but it was on before I went to school, so I'd watch it in the mornings. And it was a cartoon that was an ongoing saga. Every episode led into the next, into the next, into the next. It was this big ongoing story. And as a kid, it felt like the most epic saga I had ever seen. It was just...
God, the build-up.
Huge. And then I remember for some reason I couldn't see it for a little while. I don't remember if it was, days or weeks or whatever it was. And then I came back and it was still on, but it was totally different. It was like this new generation of people.
What?
And the world had changed. And it was a completely different thing. And I'm sure a bunch of people have already guessed what it is because the cool ones had the same experience. Robotech.
I don't remember that.
What? No, stop.
Robotech?
Stop yourself.
I don't...
Are you actually expressing...
It only played in the mornings?
I don't know if it only played in the mornings. No, but I mean, that's what I watched. That's what I watched. Yeah, I watched it in the mornings.
I don't think I ever watched it ever. I don't think I even know what Robotech is. I have no memory of that ever being on in the morning for me. It was like...
It was a Japanese cartoon, sort of like, damn it, I should have put this one on my list. Like, Voltron,
right.
And was Battle of the Planet, not Battle of the Planets, Star Blazers.
Okay.
But Robotech was...
I don't even remember.
Robotech was way cooler. Robotech was like, people got in these giant mech suits, huge mech robots, and there were aliens that were coming, and the whole first series was... Earth was being invaded by this huge, massive alien fleet, and the Robotech forces had to fight them off. And it was an epic, like, 30-something episode saga. It was...
I'm sort of upset that I don't know...
You should experience it as an adult. And I'll say this. I have revisited as an adult. This is a true story. I'd gone down to... Myself and a bunch of friends went to go visit another friend who lived out of state for one of our bachelor parties, and we were going to make it like a bachelor weekend thing. Not debauchery, it was just the idea of getting a bunch of old friends together. So we get down to our friend's apartment where we were going to be staying, and unbeknownst to me, he had just bought on DVD the whole Robotech series. And, initially we were talking about, we're going to go to the city, we're going to do this, we're going to bar hop, we're going to do this, this, that, the other thing. And I was just like... That's what we're doing. We are watching, and I think that first day, I maybe made everyone watch, like,
whose bachelor party was it?
6 hours of Robotech.
It was your bachelor party?
No, not mine. It wasn't mine. I don't think it was mine. Maybe, it might have, because it was a... it might have been mine, actually, now that I think about it.
Because it
might have been mine.
If you made somebody...
Watch Robotech
on their bachelor party... That's fucked up. If you made somebody, if it was yours, it's cool. They'll sit around and all right. This is what he wanted. This is it.
This is the
but
worst
if you
thing.
made some dude watch it on his, Jesus Christ.
No, I
picture like the groom, like, what have I done?
I think that would be doing him a favor. I mean, exposing people to Robotech
that is your.
It's a duty that we all share. So there we have it. Those are the greatest childhood cartoons of all time.
Ever made.
Ever made. No arguments possible. See ya.